it's Cooking Boca. It's Lorianne with the Boca Voice, and we are doing something very special for the month of November for the Thanksgiving holiday. And I am lucky enough to be back in the kitchen with Chef Sean from Chops Lobster Bar in Boca Raton, and he's going to share a personal family recipe. Thank you so much, Chef Sean, for being back with the Boca Voice again and for sharing your personal recipe with us.
Thank you for being here, Lori, and it's always a pleasure to see you and the wonderful crew from Boca Voice here. And I'll say this, I really appreciate you doing this piece on Thanksgiving, because I think for any chef who works in fine dining, you're constantly putting an emphasis on refinement all the time. You're always pushing for refinement. But at the end of the day, where did we start cooking? It was typically in our mother's kitchen. It was watching our mother cook, and Thanksgiving is such a great symbol of our first influences on food.
That's right. It's one of my favorite holidays, and this is very special for you to be sharing your mother's recipe. Why don't you tell us about it?
Absolutely. This is a recipe my mother's been cooking for the longest time. It's her squash casserole, and I'd say my earliest memories of food had to do with Thanksgiving. And I think it was early on where you realize that places like Thanksgiving, the power that food had. The influence that food had. And I'm not talking about two grown men fighting over a turkey leg at the table, although it does have that power, as we all know. But you really see the power that food has in the sense where it really brings people together and it really brings happiness. And although I don't think that was the original reason that got me into cooking, without a doubt, it's what continues to push me. It's what continues to keep me in this industry. So it's really good to kind of go back to simplicity here and talk about something that I'm really passionate about like this.
I love it. Let's get started.
You have yellow squash that's slow roasted in the oven at 350 degrees. The whole idea behind this is, remember, you're going to roast it off, but then you're going to cook it a little bit more once you assemble the casserole. So you want to cook it till it's done, slightly firm. Don't overcook it. It tends to get really mushy if you do overcook it. So then in a separate bowl, what you want to do is you want to start with a little bit of eggs, lightly beaten. Okay. A little bit of chicken stock that we made from roasted chicken bones. You can buy that at any supermarket.
That was going to be my question.
Exactly. All right, then you're going to go and you're going to put in some sour cream in there.
That's what it's all about, the calories on Thanksgiving,
yes,
people.
Ma'am. Oh, remember, this is Thanksgiving. We don't focus
exactly.
on health-driven
That's right.
whatsoever.
Love it.
All right, we enjoy ourselves on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
I have some onions that I cooked in rendered bacon fat. Add that to it. Bacon.
Ooh, yummy.
Makes everything better, right?
That's right.
All right, aged white cheddar cheese. That in there. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. Okay. From there, we're gonna start whisking everything together.
This is perfect because I am such a visual learner, so this is great.
A little bit with some chicken stock.
So who makes this casserole better now, you or your mom?
I'm gonna say my mom.
Smart man.
Yeah, exactly. You said it best yourself, okay? Now that I have all the ingredients incorporated here, what I'm gonna do is now keep in mind, I did not add the squash to this yet, because if I fold that in with all the other ingredients, it's gonna cause it to rip apart. It's not gonna be very pretty anymore. I'm gonna reserve a little bit of squash, set that aside for the top layer of the casserole. I'm gonna simply take it, pour it over my bottom layer of squash here, okay? We're gonna take the squash that we set aside, we're gonna add that to the top, that top layer. And remember, I didn't cut this squash too thin. You want it to be kind of thick, because if it is too thin, it's gonna have a tendency to overcook. Like I said, you still want it to be slightly firm. All right, there's still 2 more steps to go from here. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it up in aluminum foil, put it in an oven at 350 degrees, convection oven preferably, and cook it off for about 20 minutes, and then we'll go from there. We covered it with aluminum foil, baked it off in the convection oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. At that point, we pulled it out, topped it with a little more breadcrumb, a little bit more cheese, and then browned in the oven. Now, for all the gluten-free people, you can simply replace that breadcrumb with a gluten-free breadcrumb, and you have a gluten-free recipe for you right there.
Oh, awesome. So
Absolutely.
the rest, that's it. That's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
only ingredient.
And-
That's great.
And one, tick for tack, these little things right here are cake testers. These are really useful instruments you can use at home. It's very foolproof. You stick it in, you pull it out, touch it to your wrist. Hot equals done, cold equals not done. There you go.
Love it.
And that's that. And from here, I suppose we eat.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. It's the best part. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed seeing this personal side of Chef Sean. Thank you so much for sharing this personal family recipe with all of the Boca Voice viewers. I definitely am going to try this new recipe for my Thanksgiving meal. We hope that you will as well. As always, thank you for watching the Boca Voice. We wish all of you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, Chef. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Lorianne. Ciao.